Now, KwaZulu-Natal's Public Works and Infrastructure MEC, that's Martin Meyer, has issued a stern warning to underperforming contractors. Speaking at the official handover of the newly refurbished 58 million rand RK Khan Hospital, Meyer announced that the provincial government will begin blacklisting contractors who abandon projects or fail to deliver on time or even within budget. He described the delays at the RK Khan Hospital as unacceptable, noting that the facility was meant to be completed long ago. MEC Meyer joins us now to expand on this move. MEC Meyer, thank you so much for the time. Appreciated this morning. I wanted to start off by perhaps starting with the data. By your estimation, how many projects within the province have not yet been completed or are running over budget?
So this is the very sad thing that I inherited last year when I took office and when the GPU was formed, that almost all the projects of the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure was running behind schedule. Wow. Some of it was because of the extortionists or the so-called construction mafia, but quite a few of them was just underperforming contractors. And the sad fact is that every site that I visit, when I get a report, one section of the report is always dedicated on how we had to change contractors because the previous contractor was giving us shoddy work, not working up to quality, was unable to complete the work or under-tendered and therefore couldn't complete the project due to finances. And that's not only indictment on the contractors, that's unfortunately also indictment on our department.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. I mean, but what does blacklisting then look like? Does it become indefinite? Is it a temporary thing until they perhaps serve out a particular period? How exactly is it going to work?
Yeah, so I mean, the process of blacklisting does exist and the law does allow for it. If a contractor clearly is providing shoddy work, we will then put them on the blacklist. Like anything else, we believe in natural justice and injustice. People can appeal that. They can bring their proof that they have improved the situation, that they are able to do work. But the reality is that for too long, and it's not only our department, I think this is across the country, people take chances of government. They think they can just bid, they can get the money, they can disappear, or they can not provide good quality work because government just always pays. And it's important for us to start changing that narrative, to let people know that if you want to do business with government, and we are happy to do business with anyone, but if you want to do business with us, you have to actually provide a quality product to the people of KwaZulu-Natal, the taxpayers and the residents who we serve. And if you don't do so, then we just won't do business with you. It's as easy as that.
How do you measure it though? Because while it's easy to be able to say, well, you've decided or you've gone over budget here, so we're going to blacklist you. Sometimes there's a necessary requirement for that then. Yeah. And while I'm not a construction guru myself, but understanding that there are complexities within this, how do you then determine what's the right complexity and what isn't, and then what determines blacklisting?
Absolutely. And one of the things I also mentioned at the RK Khan handing over is that I think we have to be more realistic when we set our timeframes. I think we set ourselves and our contractors up to fail because the inclement weather that we're having and the massive effect of climate change means our projects are taking much longer to finish now because rain disruptions and flood disruptions are constantly happening and we can't punish the contractors for these. So I did ask that we must do a study on what our time delays due to storms and weather patterns now are so that we can adjust our timeframes that we give contractors in future. But our biggest focus is actually on the quality of work. And it just happens too often that we have to, our inspectors that goes to sites very often, have to stop contractors and make them redo something and redo it. And every time that costs money. And after a while, if the quality remains unacceptable, that's when we would then ask a contractor to rather go off site so that we can retender and get new contractors on site if they're just not producing quality work. And we saw that at RK Khan, that the first contractor was doing such bad work of such low quality that the department had no choice but to change the contractor and go through a process. But that costs money and it costs time. And that's what we're looking at. So it will be mostly focused on the quality of work. With budgeting and running over budget, we obviously have a system of fining the contractors that we will pay them less if they actually go over budget. But I do think we have to be a bit more realistic due to the weather patterns we are seeing now.
Sure. I mean, could this level of strictness, however, also impact the number of contractors you then have who are willing to do work with government in KZN? Because then, and I'm jostling whether that's a good or a bad thing, because you may have quality contractors, but at the same time, you may have too few of them, which means that you don't get the work done either.
So we are running two processes concurrently, actually. It's the one is the blacklisting. But on the other hand, we've also starting this month with our process of going on imbizos to all districts of the province, focus on our contractors and subcontractors. We will sit down with them. We will hear from them their challenges. I think it's very important for us to be a listening government, not a talking government. So we'll hear from contractors what their challenges are. And we are partnering with TVET colleges, with tertiary education institutions, with financial institutions, to see how we can help strengthen our smaller contractors, because we don't want the same big companies to get the contracts over and over again. I don't think that is the job of government to make the rich richer. And therefore, we will also be working with smaller contractors. But if you are struggling to provide a quality product, how can we assist you? How can we help you get the necessary skills? Where can we help you get the necessary skills? So we also do an empowerment drive to help contractors be able to deliver good quality projects. But our ultimate responsibility is to the people of KwaZulu-Natal who wants good quality hospitals, good quality schools, good quality clinics, and that is what we want to deliver.
MEC, one thing's for sure, that we've now seen over 50 families also being relocated in the province because of the mudslides and the like as well. I wanted to find out if your department would be helping with the fixing of the housing, for example, and just how that would work, if you have any details for us.
So that mostly falls under our sister department, Department of Human Settlements, under MEC Duma, and I know he's been doing great work together with MEC Buthelezi of Contractor. But both departments have approached us for temporary housing. As you know, we do own over 10,800 properties within the province, and we are assisting those two departments with temporary facilities where they could house people temporarily, but also in identifying land where houses could be built. One of the major problems is that we see people keep building in the floodplains, and the 100-year flood limit, and that is very dangerous. And we are looking at what land we do have available as a department that we can make available to the Department of Human Settlements, so that we can relocate and build houses in places that's much safer and would prevent further damage in future.
MEC, appreciate the time. Thank you so much. We certainly look forward to seeing how exactly this would work, and if it's implemented as well, what it creates as well in terms of a culture within not just KZN, but hopefully the broader government and nationally as well.